Welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program. Today we are trying once again to go to the moon. We're going to pick a new landing site, gather some more experiments, come back, and hopefully unlock another segment of our tech tree. Today, our new version of this lander is going to try to prevent the issue we keep having of falling over when we get to the moon. And to do that, we have new, heavier landing gear, which have a much wider base, so that will hopefully help. Also, if we're on our side, these pivot out and down, so that might help us get right ourselves. That said, let's get this mission underway, and you'll have to forgive me. I have a bit of a sore throat today, so this video will probably have fewer talking in it than normal, for better or worse. Jebediah heading back to his home away from home. Actually, I believe we unlocked nose cones with our last set of tech, so it might be worthwhile to put nose cones. Oh, apparently I've had them for a while. I forgot that they're on this. I might put nose cones on the solid boosters to see if I can't get a little bit more oomph out of them on the way up to cut down on that drag. That said, I forgot to yaw over. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Getting a nice humming noise out of the ship today. Such a horrific sound. The moon today is behind us, so we're definitely going to have to get into that staging orbit, or parking orbit, in order to make a good run at the moon. There we are. We're able to jettison our liquid fuel boosters before we were in a sustained orbit, so we don't have to worry about those cluttering up space here. Where is our moon? Our moon's over here, so by the time we swing around the planet, it'll probably be around here. That looks decent. Bum ba dum. I should have started this earlier, at about a minute, but I wasn't really thinking too clearly. Now we got to be careful, because this is going to show a connection, and then it's going to show the connection lost, and then it should show us the connection we want. And we have a tendency, by we I mean I have a tendency to panic when I see it disappear. But I gotta have faith. Faith. There we go. Looks pretty good. We'll just hold this position as we cruise over to the moon. Make sure that all of this maintains as we get closer. and the math kind of works itself out. Looks like we'll be good. To come in for a dark side landing. What a great opportunity to test out um, hmm. Oops. Let's roll this way. Okay, that did nothing close to what I wanted it to do. That is a very weird maneuver. A very weird maneuver indeed. But I believe that is exactly what I want. And we can adjust it a little bit as we rotate. So that's what we're going to head for. (349 meters per second). We have an okay amount of fuel left. Let's go ahead and try this out. It's probably about a 45-second burn. There we are. pretty decent. For some reason I have no ability to place more nodes, which doesn't instill my confidence in this maneuver. There we go. Nope. I can place no nodes. I can place nodes on the other side of the moon, but not on the side I'm on. So, I'm sure that's fine. Let's go ahead and soak up some sun while I can. Oh, those no longer appear to be part of my action group. Oh. My simulation appears to be frozen, because I'm not moving. Oh, no, I was just moving so incredibly slowly. Alright. That's weird. It's very weird, but I'm not gonna argue with it. Can't place maneuver nodes, also weird. Sure, that makes sense. Not really, but we can pretend. That looks good. Let's go ahead and prepare for that. Rotate ourselves to retrograde and get ready, hopefully, for a landing in that crater. Here we go. 400 kilometers above the surface now. And away we go. Looks like we're coming in on the edge, but I'm going to slow us down, which will probably push us back in. very weird that I can't place any maneuver nodes along my route here. I just wanted to check the time. When we hit 50, we'll do a burn to slow off our orbit here. That's 60, close enough. I appear to be firmly above the crater now. Let's do an EVA to double check. The Mun's East Crater. Have I landed in the East Crater? I didn't think I've landed in the East Crater. Maybe I've flown over it. How funny will that be? Whew. I was almost smashed into those. That would have been... Don't you know that those panels are our only way to survive this? Also, in creating this craft, I accidentally deleted the action group here. I think I mentioned that already, but that's really problematic for me. That engine burning out. These have a slightly higher impact tolerance of 12 meters per second instead of 10, but still we want to try to hit around 7 or 8. These legs, firmer, a wider base, and also longer distance, so it's a little bit more stout. I've also aligned them better with the engine bell to kind of try to keep our rocket stable here. I'm really tired of falling over. It's been a constant thorn in my side. The trade-off, of course, that they weigh a little bit more. They weigh twice as much as our other legs, at 0.1 apiece instead of 0.05. But if they can keep us maintained, I think we'll still have enough fuel buffered left over to take care of this. Also, if we're taking off from vertical instead of from lying on our side, we'll have an easier time getting in and we won't waste fuel trying to shoot us across the surface. Coming in a little hot here. Fortunately, we have very little lateral movement. It looks like there is a bit of a slope above us. Try to move ourselves away from it ever so gently. 4 kilometers. shadow. We're in the clear in terms of breaking our legs. We are, however, still coming in on this slope. It's our shadow. Slope doesn't look too extreme. I say as we... Oh, that's going to be bad. Ugh. Bad. Bad, 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 bad. Ugh, that was bad. Alright, so once again, typical landing here. Got our temperature log. We've got our crew report. We've got mystery goo. We've got the science junior. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the second mystery goo. It's not worth as much, but I mean, I'm here, I might as well. So that's goo, science, thermometer. Let's do our surface samples here. And yeah, this is much steeper than I thought it was with those new legs. Such a shame. So we're going to take our surface sample. Give our crew report. Surface sample added. I don't know if I can take a second surface sample. We'll find out. Yeah, so we already have that. We'll go ahead and mark ourselves having been in the East Crater. We'll give it a pun for good measure. Puns, of course, puns, of course, are known as good luck in the Kerbal community. Let's get him back in. Alright, so let's go ahead. Ooh. Actually, those landing gear were pretty helpful in this respect. We're looking for a 90-degree heading. I mean, we might as well just get that out of the way now. Let's drop these landing gears. Now I think if I were to walk this all the way down, I could actually get out of here. But we're turning pretty drastically. So we're actually just going to try to go for it. Beautiful ascent. Let's slow this down. Let's get going at a wonderful 90-degree heading. Very low fuel here. Whoa, yeah. I don't think I'll be adding 800 meters per second here. That's very strange. To be crashing into the planet or into the moon here, but have an apoapsis of 469 there. So we're gonna do this in stages like we did last time. To try to conserve a little bit of fuel. Only have 10 more units of fuel left to burn before we get into kind of a hairy situation. Hoping it will be okay. Two more units to burn. 12 is plenty off the surface here. Actually, we're going to be able to grab an observation as we pass over this. I believe this is what's known as the twin craters. Take advantage of that since we had already got the east craters. Not sure if it will give it to us, because we're over this weird little stretch here. But we'll try it. No, looks like we would have had to either be... Oh, no, there we go. We just got it. Excellent. Now, where we have a docking port here, it would have been very cool had we... I mean, it would have been hard to get the science, and it'll be something neat that we'll be able to do when we go to Minmus, I think. We'll build a small lander, and then have a mothership overhead, land, come up, store our experiments, refuel, get back in, drop down, store our experiments. That'd be a lot of fun, and something I'd be interested in doing. That said, as we come around the back of the planet here, usually around 180 is what we need to get home. And again, that'll put us in danger of being recaptured. We did pretty well last time with being recaptured, so we're going to try it again. 7 minutes from now. We used a slight amount of monopropellant fuel, as you might recall. We were trying to get off that slope, but it was just... This craft is sadly too heavy to use the monopropellant in that fashion. Especially where we are dependent on that monopropellant to get us home to do this part of the burn. Had a minute 30. Oh. We'll go ahead and execute that. Going to attempt to do this quickly, as it is decidedly past my bedtime. Jebediah, and just kind of an odd silence there. Coming up on the halfway mark of fuel right there. About 18% left. 6.7 meters. So this craft is technically heavier, and yet our monopropellant went a little further this time than it did last time, I believe. Did it go far enough? No. No, it did not. So we'll give it just that little oomph. So we leave the moon behind. Oh, what am I doing? Being silly here. I was waiting for a countdown or something. I'm clearly very tired. So the moon is now gaining on me at 100 meters a second. Moon is now gaining on me on 200 meters per second. Two units of fuel left. Units of fuel left. 17 units of fuel left. 16. 15. 14. This is going to be, I think, the closest one yet. 13. 12. 11. If I get recaptured by the moon, I am in big trouble with just 10 units of fuel left. Okay, should still be okay. Oh, we're going fast. And I have very, very little fuel to slow us down. We are screaming along. Units of fuel. I'm heading for the ocean. 150. 90 kilometers, 60 kilometers. Jebediah. This is when he starts to pray. Let's go ahead and drop the gears, hope that they provide us some form of protection. I thought we were going fast last time as we entered the atmosphere. At least he's happy. Putting his new landing gear to the test. 10 units of fuel to bleed off whatever speed this burn does not. However, on the plus side, we are heading for the ocean, which is, of course, the lowest point. A lot of G-forces being sustained. A lot of G-forces being sustained. Jebediah being crushed. If he were not a sack of goo, he would now be a sack of goo. That is an unbelievable amount of G-forces. Yeah, seems like he's having a hard time coping. That was pretty crazy. We'll start the drag chute at around 1,500 meters. Moving at just over 200 meters per second now. Very little fuel left to change that. 150 meters per second. We were able to drop that down to 80. I heard that noise and I honestly thought my parachutes had ripped off there for a second, even though I was only doing 80. That was a tough re-entry. Way too steep for realism, but that's okay. That's okay. This is the Kerbal Space Program after all. The parachutes have opened. Right on target. We'll go ahead. We'll land in the water. We will recover, and we'll deem this as a successful mission. Hard to think that this mission was technically longer than our last one. Our last one topped out at 23 hours. So here we are. Hard to think that in a day's time And in the last 2 days, Jebediah has commuted to the moon twice. He is a trooper. Definitely put some miles under him. Almost there. Just 65 meters to go. 50 meters. At a nice soft 5 meters per second. There we go. A nice job. I believe I have a crew report from the water. Oh, well, good to know. I accidentally took the communication tower off of this. Alright, so we'll recover the vessel. $378 science, 10 experiments. The surface sample, the first one was worth 100. Mystery goo, 9 science for the second one, considering the first one was worth 40. But that's alright. So 562 for total science, which means that we will be able to pick something from this range here. Whether we want rover parts, a new science experiment, the accelerometer, bigger batteries, xenon gas, unmanned probe parts, new plane engines, some aerodynamic stuff for planes, the large RCS fuel tank, or nuclear propulsion. Not entirely sure which one of those I'll go with. It'll probably be down to nuclear propulsion. Honestly, the smartest thing to do would be to grab the seismic accelerometer, so that we won't have to duplicate as many of these flights down the line. I probably should have done that with the last batch instead of catching up some stuff I haven't used yet. So just so I don't get silly, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to grab that now so I don't have a chance to back out. And then for 550 we can go ahead and grab 2 more science experiments, which will definitely be the way we'll go. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.